What's going on, folks? Elijah here. Down here in Manhattan Beach, my favorite beach city in SoCal, personally. It's a really nice city. If you come to LA, please come visit Manhattan Beach. It's a pretty awesome place. I'm actually just going to turn around. I'm just going to turn around down here. I don't think I'm going to be going to the beach for a little while. Too many COVID idiots out here. But, Manhattan Beach is just an awesome beach city. It's a pretty small community. Although I would warn you to wear your mask when you come down here, because I guess they are going to start fining people. But it looks like Los Angeles itself will probably go on another stay-at-home order here pretty soon. And I will be following that stay-at-home order because I actually am, I guess, privileged enough, depending on your perspective, to be going to work full-time during this crisis, at least as far as next week's concerned. Of course, things could change if something happens economically or whatever. Sometimes they have layoffs and whatnot. It do happen. So I figure I'd come down to my favorite beach city. It's a little overcast today, as often is the case at the beach here in SoCal. It's actually a pretty cool, nice, cool day today, so taking advantage of that. Good chance to wear the full gear, as we should always wear, except my boots. I don't have any motorcycle boots right now that are good. All my boots are tore up, which, I learned in my motorcycle accident that you definitely want to have motorcycle shoes on if you crash, because Jordans ain't going to cut it if you do. Nice and slick. So, definitely forewarning, because, man, my motorcycle boots, all my gear, it really saved my booty. When I did go down, and my feet were perfectly fine. There wasn't part of my body, like, shoot, if you had a motorcycle boot for your whole body, shit, people would probably be okay. When they crash and whatnot. But shoes I do have are at least slip resistant, so it's nice to step in something slick or some oil, just give a little better grip on bicycles. I like it, especially like it for bicycles. These shoes are work shoes. They're a little bit tougher than your normal Jordan, but they're still just canvas shoes, so it's not gonna keep your ankle from snapping off if you get in a wreck. Nice little quick through Manhattan Beach. That's pretty much about it. So you're having some type of event down there. The beaches, they're still open down there, but I won't be going to any. Give me some good ass, my favorite Chevron. Y'all stealing my personal information. Generally, I try to make my left-hand turns at lights. It's just safer generally, if you can, at least in my opinion. So finally messed with the gear and changed the front sprocket again. Went to a 17, so now I got a 1750, which I think is like a 2:9 ratio for this thing. But that said, a 2:9 is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the rear sprocket again. I believe I got a 45 tooth, and I think that should get me just. It's going to give me just a little bit more acceleration, like maybe a tenth I think it'll bring it like almost a 2.7 or a 2.6, almost a 2.7 gear ratio, which should be perfect for this little engine. Flipping it around, whatnot. Gotta like a motorcycle, you can on hills you can just use the rear brake to hold it, which is nice. It's a little slow on the top end. I'm going to get about 50, 45, 50, 50 if I tuck all the way in on this sucker. Though I do like being able to use the fourth gear a little more than usual. Got a lot of wind today, so hopefully it won't mess the guys up too much. Got a little bogging on top end here. I'm about to do some troubleshooting. What that's all about. Yeah, this is my favorite little run here. On this bike here. You can see a lot of motorcycles out here. Nice piece of road. Pretty limited access as well, so not a lot of stuff coming out of driveways, intersections, whatnot. Most of the intersections are lighted with a traffic signal, so that does help. Nice place where you can get these little motorcycles wide open without any problems with the police. You can't go faster than the speed limit, can't get a speeding ticket. This thing's topping out about 50 right now. I got it at 45, and that's wide open. But that's the joy of the little motorcycles, is that you can ride them full throttle if you want to, without the stuff that can happen when you ride a bigger bike full throttle. That's for sure. This is just a beautiful road here, though they could maybe repave it a little bit. And I just love running. This is my favorite run here. You got the Pacific Ocean on your side, and it's just an awesome day out here. It's nice and cool, so the engine will run good. It's with air-cooled motors. Nice, mighty Pacific Ocean. It's a little sunnier up here. Has little, clouds have given away. So it's just a beautiful, beautiful day up here right now. Here in SoCal, baby, Los Angeles. It's my city, baby. I'm living here for 16 years now, man. I just love it. People complain about it being expensive, but I mean, there's no city in America in which you can rent an apartment off of a minimum wage job anymore. And that's just the reality. It's not that, cities are expensive. And living in America now is just expensive because wages are at an all-time low, And I think, when people complain about, the motorcycle industry struggling to get, new riders and new members, well, that's probably one of the reasons is just our modern economics are just bad. So, you're not going to go out like most people. A motorcycle is an extra vehicle on top of their car. And I think the average car payment is like $400+ now. And that doesn't include the full coverage insurance if you got a new car. So a lot of people just can't afford to have a motorcycle and a plated motor vehicle at the same time. It's just too expensive. And so I really think that that's something the United States has got to address in this next decade, is the income inequality. If they want industries like the motorcycle industry to have a resurgence, otherwise they won't. Except I'm assuming places like SoCal, they'll stay strong because you can ride almost all year round pretty much. And that's one of the great things about living here. You can ride all year round. So if you're like me, single, you ain't got no kids, you can literally only have a motorcycle if you want. And that's what I've chosen to do. Other than when it rains, this is my transportation. I got a bicycle. You can ride a bicycle every day too if you want. I've done that. Awesome way to get around. Especially if you get yourself an e-bike, which would be even more awesome. It's an awesome day out here. People out here flying their giant kites, sailboating, motorcycling, just having us a good old time. Go further north now from Man Beach. It's a beautiful day up here. It might be a shutdown again, so people are, or a stay-at-home order as they call it here. So people are really just kind of trying to get a weekend in before that might happen. And that's why I'm out here getting a ride in. Otherwise, because once stay-at-home order comes in, I'll just be going to and from work pretty much. I try to order most of my groceries online these days just because it's just a better way to do things. If you can. I mean, a lot of us ordered everything online anyways. I don't get these COVID idiots, or micro idiots as I like to call them. They just don't care about other people. I just don't get it. Just no accountability. People just aren't accountable. It's kind of ridiculous. Get around these cages. Rage of cages. Crowded down here today, huh? So, a lot of people getting out to the beach. But I actually haven't walked on the beach since this all began, so I actually have not been down there. And I won't be until this finally breaks, the tide finally breaks, which doesn't seem like it's going to be anytime soon in the United States. Personally, I just don't understand the failure at the federal government level to address this problem in a meaningful way. They could have just shut down the country on the onset, for just a few days, for a month, and they probably would have been able to nip this in the bud. But unfortunately, we have an idiot in charge, in my opinion, and they're just gonna keep being an idiot. Everything in 2020 has gotten progressively worse. Our president's response has gotten progressively worse. So, I just don't understand the level of incompetence that is, taking hold in America. It's a great day. SoCal is a beautiful place. California, just in general, is just a beautiful state, honestly, and all its different features and modes, and weather and whatnot. Outdoors area is just an awesome state. I'm glad I had the privilege to move here in my 20s. Actually, when I was 19, I had the privilege of moving here, and just I've loved it ever since. I've had a lot of privilege living here. Haven't had to go through the struggles that a lot of people here go through. Doesn't mean my life doesn't have stress, but learn how to ride a motorcycle, which is not something I would have done most likely if I never lived here in California. I just love it. It's an amazing state. A lot of people hate on California because of its diversity, because it is, the progressives are definitely solidly in control now. But for people of color like myself, it is a good thing, and I don't have to worry about anybody but, homeless people calling me the N-word to my face. I'm 6'3", so there's not a lot of people that are going to be calling me with an N-word to my face anyways. But where growing up in Michigan, that just is not the case, unfortunately. And a lot of parts around the country, not to say that SoCal doesn't have issues with racism, or California, but I think now America's finally starting to deal with the avid racism and the racism of the past, because it's something that exists in the motorcycle community, is racism, and I haven't experienced it. The groups I've rode with out here, they're super diverse. You got people of all walks of life, all colors, which should be pretty indicative of anything you go to in Los Angeles. You go to any event in Los Angeles and it's not diverse, something's wrong, because you're going, as I like to say, there's a lot of times where I'm the whitest person around, which is definitely something different compared to being in the Midwest and other parts of the country. So, and I enjoy that. I know a lot of people, the diversity and just is a turn off for them, or they come out here and they hate it. But people out here are hardworking. They work really hard, and that's one of the things I really just love about living here is people's hard work and everything they do, whether it's fast food or a big time job somewhere else. People are just always trying their best on everything to do, no matter what they might do. A lot of construction going on these days. I think I'll go get me a cheeseburger, call my mama, sit back and play some video games. Supposed to do a group movie watch with my sister later. Gonna watch a movie. So I figured I'd get out a little earlier today. Did and get me a good run in, good beach run in. Mission complete. Actually, I think I might go get me an ice cream right now. That sounds like about good. Might not be able to go get ice cream soon enough. Came up a little bit. Yes, the K-pipe does come up if you hear it right. It will come up on you. Come on, big old box truck, dog. I'm not gonna be riding behind you, dog. Brother got him a nice Harley right there. You know, that's, again, diversity. Most brothers out here, they ride Harleys. It's pretty big African American bike clubs here who ride Harleys pretty much exclusively. But they generally ride whatever you want. But man, they be having some badass Harleys, boy. They just be immaculate. I know Harley riders get hated on, but they are the Cadillac of bikes when it comes to looks. They just be shiny and chrome, baby, shiny and chrome. A little far out of my price range, though. I gotta stick to the Mexican bikes. Little patch of road here. I think they just repaved this one. Nice patch of road. Got Sony Studios or Sony Pictures right here. That's where they make all the big budget Sony movies here in SoCal. Right here in Culver City is pretty massive. It's one of the studios that gives Culver City its name. I believe Amazon Studios is now here as well. It's definitely cool to be in a movie town. That's one of the cool things. I always, when I first moved out here, like, you get to see you can see. I mean, you can see movies that you can't see in other cities here all the time. You can see, movies. You can go see older movies too. A lot of small theaters play, and when they open back up, hopefully if they survive, you can go see, your favorite anime movies. New anime movies also premiere here as well. So. You can actually check those out. I got to go see I'm a big anime fan, so I got to go see the last Gundam movie, which I believe finishes the Gundam Unicorn storyline, and that was actually pretty cool to actually be able to go and see that. So that was a pretty awesome thing. He about to hit people. People just don't be paying attention out here, dog. So you gotta be extra careful on the motorbike, man, or else you ain't gonna be making it to enjoy that ice cream. Robbins, baby. Until next time, guys, Elijah out.